Hey, be careful, those are dangerous.
Most don't realize how lucky we are to be a part of a school system that allows us to read banned books. As high schoolers, I believe we take this for granted. We have the ability to be taught these books that have inappropriate content, and we have the ability to read these books that other states don't allow in their curriculum. I don't think that we know what kind of advantage we have. We can expose our minds to concepts and ideas these books bring that are radical. And from there, our minds can expand from these concepts and we can grow and gain knowledge from them. And this is why we as students are lucky.
I guess if before high school started banning books, I'd probably feel like angry because I guess like I kind of believe, you know, people should have the choice to be able to read whatever they want and to look at whatever they want. So to ban books and say, you know, you can't do that, that would actually cut off like a lot of sources for people, because I know like they can't always go to the public library or buy their own books. So like if there was a book here they wanted to read but it was suddenly banned, that would kind of cut that off from them.
I think that we live in a country where we pride ourselves on freedom, and I think one of our freedoms includes choices to read what we choose to read, and I think that certain banned books have been banned for reasons that probably, in my opinion, aren't necessary. I think that some of the books that are banned actually teach some important lessons, and by banning them, students are missing out on part of their history and context that those books were written.
I think there's some books that, you know, I would never put this in a first grade classroom. You know, I think the idea is there's a time that a book probably would be best read. And to say that a book should be banned, I would say no, never ban a book. But I think there should be some conscious thought given to when should that book be presented and what's the context in which it should be presented, and, you know, that there's something that makes it justified that that's a good time for it. I don't know, I'm just opposed to censorship, but at the same time, there's a time and a place for different books, and I think giving some thought to that is not a bad thing.
I don't think that books should be banned, especially at the high school level. I think that high school students are sort of aware of the issues that would ban a book here, and I think banning a book might actually make kids the opposite effect and make kids like maybe more interested or eager to read it, when maybe they wouldn't be ready to. So.
To Kill a Mockingbird makes my probably top 5 books for favorites of all time, so I would never want to see this book banned. I think that it teaches so many lessons, and I think that the characters are really relatable in this story. Plus, I think it does a really good job of presenting some of the pivotal moments in American history, so I don't think this one should be passed up. I think of Mice and Men, I'm just a big fan of Steinbeck's style, and so the reasons that they want to ban the book for using derogatory terms, I think again has to do with historical content. And shouldn't we understand what the past was about? Why would we ban a book like this?
This book means a lot to me because Aldous Huxley knew exactly where society was heading, even though it was made in the 30s. And, you know, that's just cool.
Probably a diary of Anne Frank because, I don't know, I'm really interested in history and like the Holocaust in general. So I remember I read her book, I read her diary pretty much when I was like a little bit younger than her. I was like 11 or 12. So like just kind of reading her words, like it kind of gave me a little inspiration and like hope for the world, kind of.
Well, for several reasons. I like the story. It's just a really good narrative. I think what I like most about it is that it doesn't shy away from a lot of the issues that people have to face, and it puts them in a context that I think, you know, seems very realistic. So, I mean, the story is great, but the way that it's told, I think, makes it much more compelling. Specifically, that's kind of hard to say. I think a lot of people take different things away from a book. It's kind of hard to say this book means that you get this out of it. But I mean, at least what I hope people get is that sometimes, you know, the content of someone's character has nothing to do with who you're friends with. It has more to do with the idea that, you know, you have to make choices and there's consequences for those choices, and that sometimes standing up for yourself is probably the hardest thing to do, and sometimes there's bad consequences for that too. So, I mean, it challenges you to think.